Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. Signed, sealed, delivered. Pete Carroll is the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. We talked about it in a recent video about how he can go ahead and help the Raiders and why it's such a great hire. Now, here are some winners and losers because of the hiring of Pete Carroll as head coach. Let's get right into it. All right. One of the number one big winner is the Raiders themselves. Look, in this whole hiring time, in this hiring season, right, in this cycle of hiring head coaches, there was no one who was more experienced, who was more proven, right, and who comes with the most to prove than Pete Carroll. It's kind of weird, right? He's the most proven and has a lot left to prove. Yeah, because of his age, because of how things ended in Seattle, he does want to cement his legacy by coming in here and killing it. Look, he has as good a resume, maybe even better than almost anyone in the NFL, including our own division. He's been to a couple of Super Bowls. He's won one. He's beaten all these guys in his division he's won against. This is a great hire for us, and it's a big win for the Raiders. Again, Pete Carroll's won like 60% of his games out there, and he's constantly has his team in the playoffs, in the running. He's been known to turn around programs. He goes in there, goes to SC, turns them around, makes them a powerhouse. Goes to the Seattle, turns them around, back-to-back Super Bowls, perennial, deep in the playoff run, playoff teams. Pete Carroll makes the Raiders a winner. The next winner could be Russell Wilson. Now, look, I understand what you're saying. It was an ugly breakup towards the end. Not really on Pete Carroll's end, right? He didn't really say anything. It was more so on like the teammates of Russell Wilson and Russell Wilson himself. Look, I wasn't a huge fan of bringing in Russell Wilson before last season, even though it was only going to be $1 million, for this major reason. The major reason is the reason why things didn't work out in Seattle was because towards the end of his tenure in Seattle, Russ Wilson was all about the let Russ cook nonsense. It was being fed by the mainstream media. A lot of these guys that are very biased in the mainstream football media. Let Russ cook. Let Russ cook. Yeah. Great. They didn't win playoff games with letting Russ cook. The formula that helped Russ become a winner was run the ball, play good defense, play action, take shots when you can. That's the formula, right? Russ goes to the Broncos, tries another let Russ cook, right? Killed Hackett's career as Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach. Goes in there, doesn't listen to Sean Payton, doesn't play on time, goes and just tries to run around, do the whole let Russ cook thing. Sean Payton's like, that's not going to work for me, bro. You're gone. So he gets humiliated as far as that goes. He gets basically paid to play against the Broncos, all right? Because Peyton had nothing to do with the guy. Well, the reason why I'm much more kind of warmed up to the fact of having Russ being our quarterback is because he showed this last season with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's willing to go back into the whole run the ball, play defense, play action, take shots when you can, role like he did when he was at his best in Seattle. The proof is in the pudding, man. If he wants to go out there and be like a creator and like one of these like, young, really fast, strong arm quarterbacks, that's just not who he is, man. He's still an excellent quarterback. Russell Wilson is still better than any quarterback we have on this roster, probably for quite a few years. He can come in here, and if he plays like the early Russ, if he accepts that role, it's going to be a big win for the Raiders to have a bridge quarterback like Russell Wilson while you're getting the next young quarterback ready to play underneath him. All right, the next winner on having Pete Carroll as your new head coach is Tom Brady, one of the minority owners. Look, Pete Carroll is a huge get, but how it means in relations to Tom Brady is Tom Brady has shown the ability to open doors and get things kind of rolling. Ben Johnson wanted to have nothing to do with the Raiders until Brady was there, and Brady reached out and said, look, just give us a shot, talk to us, see what you think. That's the first step. The first step is getting in front of somebody, right? If you're a salesperson, the first step is keeping them on the phone, letting them talk, right? Not getting hung up on. getting a step into the door, getting to talk to the wife, not getting the door slammed in your face. I'm telling you right now, Tom Brady being able to get being able to get a head coach like Pete Carroll is a big win for how he's looked at across the league. Also, hiring a familiar face in GM John Spytek, along with Pete Carroll, it kind of ensures that Brady is going to have kind of his control over a lot of the football decisions, which is what he wants. And it's how he's going to be viewed as an owner moving forward if he's able to kind of have his vision put on the field and have that be successful. Again, Brady was able to hire the most accomplished head coach in this hiring cycle. It's showing a clear vision of what he wants. He wants to bring stability. He wants to bring winning. He wants to bring an atmosphere of not only competition, but of development. That's what we have now in this Raiders team with the addition of Pete Carroll. That's how it's going to be a big winner for Tom Brady. All right. We got winners and we got losers. I think one of the biggest losers is Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh thought he was going to come in here. He thought he was going to mop up the Raiders twice a season. He bookended his first season with the Chargers with an opening day win against the Raiders and a last game of the season win against the Raiders. Kind of bolstered himself into the playoffs. Look, Carroll and Harbaugh have kind of a checkered past. I'm sure there's a mutual respect there, but running up the score when he was with Stanford against SC, a lot of the trash talk when, Harbaugh was in the 49ers and Carroll was with Seahawks. I don't know that there's going to be any love lost. Even though there's respect there's not going to be any love lost when these two teams hit the field. Pete Carroll evens the coaching field against Jim Harbaugh. And I don't know that Jim Harbaugh was counting on that when the Raiders picked their next head coach. Look, Carroll is 6-5 against Harbaugh in the pros, but he's won the last 3 meetings, and he also beat Jim Harbaugh in the conference championship game to go to the Super Bowl. It's definitely going to be a rivalry moving forward, even bigger than it already is. Also, you're looking over your shoulder at a shaky roster, like wide receiver, running back, quarterback. I mean, it's not great with the Chargers. Wide receivers, young and unproven. You have a running backs that are going to be all free agents, and you don't really have an answer there. Your quarterback crashes out for the second time in the playoffs. Like, it's not all freaking, sunshine and roses over, with the Chargers. Definitely something that Jim Harbaugh wasn't expecting to have this big of a hurdle to overcome with the Raiders 2 times a year. All right. The next losers, unfortunately, are Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Good old Farva and Uncle Rico. The ties between Pete Carroll and having a lot of kind of arms out there in the NFL and knowing that he needs to win right away, all signs point to him signing a veteran quarterback to come in. That veteran quarterback is almost assured going to be better and more accomplished than Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew. I don't know, man. A likely reunion with Russell Wilson is kind of dooming Farva and Uncle Rico. You're going to want to have a quarterback that can go in there and be a long-term starter for you and play at a high level, have higher end traits, which is why I think they're still going to, even if they do get Russell Wilson, they're still going to get a young quarterback in this draft coming up because they want those high end traits to be able to develop. Doesn't mean a lot of good stuff for Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Another loser are all the teams that were interested in trading for Maxx Crosby. I made a video about Maxx Crosby and how long he was going to be with the Raiders. He's not going anywhere with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll already loves Maxx Crosby, the player. He's going to fall in love with Maxx Crosby, the person. And Maxx Crosby, in turn, is going to fall in love with Pete Carroll, the coach, and the person. They're going to be a great marriage moving forward. Look, Maxx said he wants stability. If one thing that Pete Carroll brings to an organization is stability, he's direct, he's honest, he's straightforward, and he's about competition. What he sees on the field, best players are going to play. The best players that give us the best chance to win, those are the guys that are going to be on the field. Pete Carroll makes the Raiders better. He makes the Raiders more appealing, and he makes the Raiders a place that Maxx Crosby wants to play. Now, Crosby says he wants to play meaningful games at the end of the season. That's all Pete Carroll is about. I'm not saying he's guaranteed to have 10, 11, 12 wins every year, but damn it, he's going to be darn close to it because he has been every year in his career. Also, look, Maxx Crosby has no more guaranteed money on the books. Pete Carroll's not going to want to come in here and get rid of one of his best players, if not the best player on the team and one of the leaders on the team. Pete Carroll's going to send a clear message to the Raiders. We keep our best players happy, playing, and productive. And for all those reasons, the losers are all the teams that thought they can trade for Maxx Crosby because he ain't going nowhere. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time. That's my time for today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's the absolute bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing at all. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.